The Secretary of Defense started to notice that many of the technologies that were impactful on the battlefield already, and certainly into the future, they were primarily funded, driven, advanced in the commercial sector, not by federal R&D money. And they were not only ahead in that, but it was such an advantage, and the $1 trillion consumer market was funding it. We weren't going to catch up. And so Secretary of Defense wanted to figure out a way that we could better connect with that, not only that technology, but some of the smaller, more innovative companies that produce that technology or apply those new technologies in a way that would be useful for protecting our nation. Right now we're focused on commercial space, autonomy, human systems, IT and software, and artificial intelligence. And those are the technologies that the commercial world's just outpacing the Department of Defense on right now. So our role is to help accelerate those, build prototypes and put them in the field quickly. Obviously, I think if you were putting somewhere your first office, Silicon Valley seemed like a logical choice for the kinds of technologies we were trying to tap into. As we surveyed the market, Boston and Austin were the next two that popped up. And it's interesting, they have different focuses in terms of technology than Silicon Valley in some case. Boston has a huge biology-based entrepreneurship, because I think a lot of labs are up there, a lot of universities. So there's a different tech focus. The way you really get after the small companies to understand them, understand their technologies, their culture, their leadership, and see if they can do business is via whoever funds those companies, right? In the Valley, that's through the VC firms primarily. In Austin, it tends to be through angel investors, high net worth individuals, different kind of investment footprint there. And in Boston, the way you access technology and small companies is through the labs, MIT, et cetera. We're not planning on opening any more. We just acquired 50 reserve billets, and what we're trying to do is have a virtual presence through reservists and guardsmen in other areas that have a lot of technologies in those areas that we talked about. And so that's been quite a popular idea, and we're actually, the number of amazing reservists and guardsmen in the military is amazing, that what they do in their normal day-to-day job is exactly the kind of insight that we're looking for. And rather than them go and do some other thing, they can leverage what they're doing there exactly how the Department of Defense needs them to. So now that we have those billets, we're doing screening some pretty amazing individuals right now. One of my favorites is Shield AI, and they build a small autonomous drone, and it's the perfect story in the sense that originally it was built to map out for large construction companies. Picture a company building like a Disneyland park, right? The amount of money that can be saved by having a really good handle on progress on your construction site across all of it, for labor, materials, any kind of supplies. And so it used to be people would walk around with clipboards and then maybe iPads and say, okay, they made this much progress on this building and this much progress on this paving project. It's very time consuming, very expensive, and not all that accurate. So they built this little drone, lots of sensors that can fly itself. You don't have to pre-program it to fly. It has some basic understanding of what buildings look like, and it maps it out much quicker, much cheaper, much more precise. And with that, construction companies could save lots of money. Well, it turns out we had a user who had a very specific need for being able to go in and map out buildings without putting humans at risk, right? And so with just a small tweak of an existing technology that was built for a commercial use case, we were able to provide a military user what they needed within weeks. Since 1991, Congress has amended the FAR over 100 times specifically to adopt commercial technologies faster. Point two, there are many acquisition experts who will tell you that there's nothing in an OT that you can't do in the FAR in one way or another, right? And so in some ways, and Congress has granted 37 specific authorities for rapid acquisition also, right? So in some ways Congress has tried to make this problem better. So why doesn't it work? These authorities have been on the books now for several years, and why is it working at some organizations and not others? It's, by definition, it's not different authorities, right? It's a matter of leadership culture, risk assessment, bandwidth, and initiative. We do things like, one of the combatant commands, it has asked us to help train them to build their own OT shop. How do they do it themselves, right? Teach a man to fish kind of thing. We've been asked to help build some courses at Defense Acquisition University online. And so it's, you don't know till you know, right? And so we've been asked to help export the knowledge that allows a leader in an organization to take advantage of that faster.